The wrapper stays, the security guard said as the granola bar hit the floor. The badge doesn't. You're done, the billionaire said. Badge, now. Everyone in the store froze. Carts stopped inching. A toddler's laugh dried up. Phones tilted, eyes jumped from her to him and back. Tessa stood there with the granola bar at her feet, fingers trembling so hard the scanner kept missing the cereal box in her other hand. The manager hovered behind the billionaire, chin lifted. She can't eat on the floor, Mr. Ashford, the manager said. Zero tolerance, you said it yourself. The billionaire didn't flinch. He didn't even look at Tessa as he spoke. We all live with the policies we enforce, he said. Badge, Tessa swallowed. A buzzing sound came from under her sleeve. 3 quick beeps, faint but insistent. She set the cereal down, peeled her lanyard from her neck, and held it out. The plastic card slid against her palm. You're really doing this, she said. Not loud, not a challenge, just air pressed into words. Escort her out, the manager said, voice sharp, performative. The guard stepped forward. Tessa glanced at the clock above aisle 7. 11 minutes to her next break. She had counted them all morning. She had asked to go early. She had been told no. All associates take their breaks together, the manager had said. Customers first. Can I grab my bag? Tessa asked. My phone, no, the manager said. You're not coming back. The billionaire's jaw tightened at the word coming. He raised his hand a fraction. The guard let her pivot toward the employee lockers, eyes on her the whole way. She bent at the end of lane 3 to retrieve the granola bar. Her fingers brushed the wrapper. The guard shook his head. She straightened, face hot, and walked out. The automatic doors sighed. The buzz of the store swallowed her. He watched her silhouette slice across the glass and vanish into late afternoon glare. Sir, Jordan, his PR chief, was at his elbow. We should get to the car. You have the investor call in 20. The billionaire nodded and adjusted his cufflinks. He had a schedule, a board, a brand. He had a line in his head he repeated when these moments came. Rules aren't cruel, they're equal. He turned for the exit. On the sidewalk, the city throbbed. The lime green buses, the bike bells, the smell of hot pretzels layered over car exhaust. Tessa was a few paces to the right, near the cigarette urn, digging into her tote with stiff fingers. She pulled out her phone, tapped, and pressed it to her ear. Her other hand rubbed her upper arm where a tiny white sensor patch clung to her skin. Ma, she breathed when the call connected. The billionaire stopped. He didn't mean to. His hand hovered over the door of his waiting SUV. He could have climbed in and closed the world out. He didn't. Ma, listen, Tessa said. Don't freak out, okay? Her voice was steady and kind, a different kind than she'd offered him. Silence on the line, a muffled voice, the voice of someone older and scared. They fired me, Tessa said, like she was saying the name of a medicine a child didn't want. Because I ate at the register. A beat, another. The billionaire's fingers curled around the edge of the car door. The engine hummed behind him. Jordan checked his watch, then looked at his face and didn't speak. Yeah, the founder, Tessa said, glancing at the reflective glass where his suit was printed faintly over her shoulder. His name's on the bags, Ma. He was right there. Her mom's voice came through, soft and rasping. The phone speaker was turned up. She must have trouble hearing. A bird landed on the awning above them. A kid tugged his mother's sleeve and pointed. No, it's okay, Tessa said quickly. Don't call Mr. Rizzo. No, don't. A laugh that wasn't a laugh. Please don't sell the TV. It's fine. I'll pick up something else. I can drive for Serge Runner again. I still have the car. The buzzing under her sleeve sounded again, louder now than subsiding. She pressed 2 fingers to her wrist, sweat beaded at her hairline. Yeah, I know, she whispered. I was shaking. I asked to go, but she said no because of the secret shoppers, so I took a bite. I know it's the rule. I know. Ma, don't cry. The billionaire didn't move. A couple leaving the store recognized him and slowed. He stepped back into the shadow of a column. Jordan took a careful half step that hit him even more. I'll bring the soup tonight, Tessa said. We'll talk to Dr. Singh in the morning. Maybe he can move the chemo instead of canceling. I'll call the billing office. I'll tell them about the money from Manny. Yeah, he still owes me 50. He'll pay. Her voice thinned. I know it was my last write-up. It was for water that time, but I know. A bus thundered past. The billionaire's hand came off the car door. He dropped it quietly to his side. Promise me you'll put the ice packs on the insulin when the power blips again, she said. The fridge is old. I'll be back by 9. Don't stand on the chair to fix the bulb, okay? Please don't. Her phone vibrated. Another call blinked across the screen, unknown caller. She declined it without looking. She added, with a bravery that was like a hand put on someone else's back, Don't tell the doctor yet. Let me try to fix it first. She hung up. For 1 second she stood still, eyes closed, palms pressed to her thighs, like she was bracing against a wind no one else could feel. Then she opened her eyes and started walking toward the bus stop. Sir, Jordan's voice was quiet. We should. Who approved that sign? The billionaire said, his voice sharper than it had been inside. What sign? The no food sign at the registers, he said. Standard policy, Jordan said. Legal was nervous about allergies, optics mess, you know that. Get me HR, the billionaire said. In the car. Now. Jordan tapped his phone. The billionaire's driver glanced in the mirror and watched him not get in. Inside the store, the manager was already recounting the scene to a cluster of associates, her hands moving like she was drawing boxes around the air. When the billionaire stepped back through the automatic doors, her face flashed surprise, then concern. Mr. Ashford, she said, everything all right? Her file, he said. Excuse me. Tessa Morales, he said. He knew the spelling from the name on the badge. He had stared at it when he'd said badge. I want her file, I want her schedule, I want her write-ups, and I want to know who granted or denied her accommodations. The manager blinked. Sir, we don't keep that's HR. Call them, he said. She called. He watched her hands shake the way Tessa's had. While she waited on hold, he took 2 steps toward the break room. There, pinned to a corkboard, was a glossy poster, zero tolerance. Beneath, in smaller font, consuming food on floor is grounds for termination. Exceptions, none. Beside it, a sheet torn from a manual, secret shopper scores. Points lost for visible food, for open beverage, for tardy greeting. On the sign in whiteboard, someone had written the day's schedule in black marker. Next to Tessa's name, where it had said 145 break, a line had been drawn through the numbers and rewritten as 240. Under it, faint but still visible, someone had scribbled low sugar. Then someone else had scrubbed the words until only a smear remained. He took a picture. The manager cleared her throat. HR says there isn't a recorded accommodation for. Her patch beeped, he said, turning. He scanned her face. Did you see it? The manager's mouth opened, then closed. Sir, we're told not to assume. Get me the footage, he said. He pointed up at the dark eye of the camera above lane 3. Now. A security tech hustled down the aisle with a tablet. Together, they watched the recording. On the screen, Tessa asked, quiet, controlled, to take her break a few minutes early. The manager shook her head without looking up from her phone. 2 minutes later, the patch under Tessa's sleeve flashed. She pulled a granola bar from her tote, snapped a piece off, and lifted it toward her mouth. That was when he, in the footage, rounded the corner with Jordan and the store tour behind him, when the manager's eyes lit up. When the words came out of his mouth, clean and neat and final, he watched himself. He looked authoritative. He looked composed. He looked like every training video they had ever made. His stomach turned. From the tablet speakers, the store hummed. The recording ended with Tessa walking out, hands empty. He looked up at the manager. Who changed her break? He asked. It's sir, we're short-staffed, the manager said. Corporate cut hours, we have to push breaks. The shoppers, who changed it? He said. Her throat worked. I did. Why did you deny her accommodation? Sir, she said, grasping for the line, I had no record of any accommodation. And the secret shopper score goes straight to my bonus and to your presentation to the board tomorrow, and I was following your memo, she said, and there it was, the email pulled up on her phone like a shield. The header glowed from Evan Ashford, subject, zero tolerance, zero exceptions. The date was 3 months ago. His words were crisp and absolute in the body of the email. The words he had told himself were about fairness. He stared at his own language. He didn't like how neat it looked. Where is she? He said. Sir. Where? The manager gestured toward the bus stop outside. He was out the door before she finished. Tessa sat on the metal bench, head down, phone in her lap. She had gotten the granola bar from somewhere. Maybe the guard had softened for 10 seconds and let her scoop it from the floor on her way out. She had split it cleanly in half and was eating in small, careful bites like someone paying back a debt slowly, dollar by dollar, so it couldn't be taken away. The bus's arrival board flickered. The next one was in 12 minutes. She glanced at the clock on the bank across the street. She placed one half of the bar back in her tote and zipped it. Tessa, the billionaire said. She looked up, surprised the way you are when the person who just slammed a door opens it again. Can I talk to you? He said. She stood. Did you forget to take back my shirt too? No, he said. I need to fix what I did. She stared at him, then shook her head once, not dismissive, just weary. It's already done. I shouldn't have. He stopped himself before he said, "Fired you for that." The words sounded flimsy in his head. "Your brake was moved," he said instead. "Your patch was beeping." She lifted her arm slightly. The sensor patch was old, the edges were peeling. "It beeps when the number drops fast," she said. "It gets dramatic." "You told your manager," he said. "She didn't," she said. "The secret shopper could be anyone," Tessa said. "Even the old man who never smiles, even the one with the nice suit, even the woman with the dog in her purse. I didn't want to cost her points." She swallowed. "I also didn't want to pass out and hit a kid with a box of cereal." 3 teenage girls across the way were openly filming. Jordan had caught up and was hovering 2 steps behind, careful to look like he wasn't hovering. "You have an accommodation on file?" the billionaire asked. "I did," Tessa said. "I handed the paper in my first week. Miss Carlson, 2 managers ago, signed it. The line was long today. The air felt hot. I felt that feeling. My hands," she held them up, "steady now. They do this thing." She smiled with half her mouth. I looked at the clock. "It was close enough, I thought." "I'm sorry," he said. "Okay," she said. And I'm reversing it," he said. "Right now." He looked at Jordan. "Call HR, she's reinstated, with back pay for the hours, and call legal. The zero-tolerance memo comes down today. We create accommodations training for every manager, every store. He caught Tessa watching him. "We fix it." "And my mom's appointment?" She asked. She wasn't cruel about it. She was practical. "If I'm reinstated, do I have insurance today or when the system updates next week?" Jordan opened his mouth. The billionaire cut in. "Today," he said. "I'll make it retroactive. I'll call the hospital. I'll call Dr. Singh." She nodded once. "She needs chemo tomorrow," she said. "She won't do it if I say we don't have it. She'll say she's tired. She'll say we need the money for rent." For the first time, her voice wavered. "She'll lie to make me feel better." "Let's go," he said. "To the hospital?" she asked. "To the store," he said. "Then to the hospital." She looked at the bus sign. She looked at his car. Her jaw worked. "I'm not getting in his car," she said to Jordan, like she was telling a friend a fact about who she was now. "You can follow us," the billionaire said. "Or we can follow you, or we can meet there. You call it." She held his eyes for a long second. "I'll take the bus," she said. "You can meet me, and don't get in the way at check-in. The ladies at the desk don't care who you are." A half-smile flickered near his mouth and died. "Understood," he said. He let her board. He watched the bus swallow her and pull into traffic. He climbed into his car and, for the first time that day, told the driver to go slower. Inside the store, word had spread. Associates clustered by the registers, pretending to align magazines and restock gum so they didn't look like they were watching. The manager's mouth was a thin line. "We're bringing the memo down," the billionaire said. "Effective now, and we're reviewing your bonus structure." Her eyebrows climbed. "Sir, if your pay encourages you to deny anyone the right to eat when their blood sugar drops," he said, "your pay is broken." Her eyes filled with relief and fear. "Sir," she said, and then, before she could stop herself, "You told us." "I told you," he said, "and I was wrong." He hated how easy the words were to say inside his clean suit. He hated how much work they had to do after they left his mouth. "Get your team. 10 minutes. Break room." They were there in 3. He stood against the vending machine and watched them file in. The posters behind him shouted words he had paid agencies to pick: excellence, loyalty, drive. A young stalker had red knuckles from breaking down boxes. A woman in her 60s had a wrist brace under her sleeve. The girl from cosmetics still had glitter on her cheek. They all watched him like people watch a storm, not because they like weather, because weather decides their plans. "I made a rule," he said. "I thought it would make things fair. I forgot that fair and same aren't twins." Heads tilted. Someone exhaled like they'd been holding it. "No one gets written up for food," he said. "No one gets written up for water. If a customer complains, I'll call them myself." He looked at the manager. "No one waits on a break, so we look tidy. Secret shoppers don't feed anyone's babies. You do." He turned to the stalker. "You run this place. We'll pay for trainer time on accommodations. We'll pay for extra bodies so breaks aren't a joke." He pulled the glossy zero-tolerance sign off the corkboard. It tore with a louder rip than it should have, maybe because everyone was listening. He folded it once, then again, and dropped it into the trash. "Questions," he said. Silence. Then the older woman lifted her wrist brace a little. "Can we put the water fountain back, the one you took out for the sunglasses rack?" "Yes," he said. "Today." The cosmetics girl raised a cautious hand. "Can we have granola bars at the register for not just for diabetes, for when it's crazy and we forget?" "Yes," he said. "Make a list. Corporate will pay." The manager spoke, voice small now. "What about me?" He looked at her. He remembered the email on her screen. He remembered her copying him in on perfect metrics. He remembered the memo he had sent that made her afraid to deviate. He could fire her. It would feel clean. It would also be the same mistake, wearing different clothes. "You stay," he said. A twitch of surprise crossed faces. "You'll go to the trainings first. You'll be paired with a second manager from a store that handles this right. Your bonus will change. If you erase accommodations again, you won't work here. If you fight for your people, you'll earn more." She nodded quickly, like breathing again hurt her ribs. "Yes, sir," she said. He looked at the clock. "I have to meet someone at a hospital," he said. "Jordan will stay. If anyone's been written up for water or food in the last year, bring their names. We're clearing them. We're paying back the hours." He left before he could make a speech out of it. At the hospital, the fluorescent lights made everyone look like they hadn't slept. Tessa was at the front desk, speaking to a clerk with the voice of someone who had used all her words on other days and had none left for this one. "That's the policy," the clerk said, not unkindly. "The insurance shows a lapse. You can reschedule." "It's not a haircut," Tessa said. "It's cancer." The clerk's eyes softened. "I know." The billionaire stepped up behind her. He didn't say his name. He held out a card. "Put it through," he said to the clerk. "Today, and mark the lapse handled." The clerk glanced at the card, then at him, then at Tessa. "He can't do that," she said to Tessa, like she was warning her about a man selling miracles in a hallway. "Not without, he can," Tessa said, looking at him. "Because he made a rule that broke us, and now he has to make one that doesn't." The clerk swallowed. She took the card. In the chair in the infusion room, Tessa's mother sat wrapped in a blanket with tiny strawberries printed on it. Her hair was thinner than the blanket. Her eyes were sharp. She squeezed Tessa's hand when she walked in. "TTSSA," she said in careful syllables. "You are late." "I know," Tessa said. "He talks a lot." Her mother peered past her at the man in the doorway. She squinted, trying to place the face. Then she seemed to remember not the magazine covers, not the commercials, but the store, the bad thing. She set her mouth. "He fired you," she said, pointing with a shaky finger as if he were a stain. "He fixed it," Tessa said. The mother looked at Tessa's face. She looked at the nurse hooking up the line. She looked at the way the nurse smiled at Tessa and gave her shoulder a squeeze. She shifted in the chair and the blanket slipped, revealing the thinness of her arms. She gathered it back up, fussing with it to avoid the big things in front of her. Then, with a sigh that sounded older than any of them, she said, "Then make him feed the others." He nodded. He didn't have any good words. He took the cheap plastic visitor's chair in the corner and sat, his hands folded so tight his knuckles went white. He didn't stay for the whole drip. He stayed long enough to see the medicine slide in and Tessa's shoulders drop a fraction. He stayed long enough to speak to Dr. Singh in the hallway and say, "There will be no lapse." He stayed long enough to say to himself quietly, "Get past this day. Do the next." Back at the store that evening, the zero tolerance sign was gone. In its place, a whiteboard with a different message in squeaky marker. "If you need 5 minutes, take them. Nutrition station in room 3. Ask Maria." A small basket had appeared beside each register with individually wrapped snacks. It looked like a little joke at first, like someone had brought in school lunch energy. Then a mother with 2 kids asked for directions to diapers and on her way back whispered, "Thank you," to no one in particular. He watched from the end of lane 1. No one recognized him this time. He had taken off the suit jacket and rolled his sleeves. He shouldn't have been there. He had a board call. He had investors to promise to. He stayed. Tessa came in just before 9 to sign her reinstatement paperwork. She wore the same black jeans she'd worn that morning because she hadn't planned on ever wearing them to this store again. She walked straight to the manager's office. He let her pass without stepping into her path. Jordan handed her a stack of papers. She moved through them quickly, reading, not pretending to understand parts she didn't. She paused at the last page. "What's this?" she asked. "A separate offer," Jordan said. He looked at the billionaire once, then at Tessa. "A temporary advisory role. On a small team we're pulling together. To help us rewrite policies with people who actually live them." She scanned the page. "Is that a real thing?" she asked. "Or is it the kind of thing you announce and never do?" "It's real," the billionaire said. "Who else is on it?" she asked. He nodded toward the break room. The older woman with the wrist brace stepped in, looked like she might bolt, then stayed. The stalker followed, wiping his hands on his apron, eyes wide. The cosmetics girl ducked behind him, glitter still clinging to her cheek. "Okay," Tessa said. She set the papers down. She looked at the billionaire. "I recorded you," she said. "When you fired me, I could have posted it. I didn't. I was going to. My friend said it would make you fix it. I didn't want my coworkers on the internet crying in the background. He nodded. It was a twist he didn't deserve. It felt like someone had put their body between him and a speeding bike. Thank you, he said. Don't thank me, she said. Do the thing. He held her gaze. We will. She picked up the pen. She signed the paperwork, not with a flourish, with small, careful letters that looked like what they were, work. Outside, the city had eaten its own heat and given back cold. The moon hung over the roof like an apology nobody asked for. The billionaire stood under the awning and let the night air put its hands on his face for a second. You done? Jordan asked, ever the clock. For today, he said. Tomorrow we fire a memo and hire a training. Tomorrow we call legal and change the bonus. Tomorrow we start with the stores where people wrote up water. Jordan snorted. That many. Enough. In the morning, before the board call, before the investor emails, before the PR plan, he stopped at a store on the other side of town, unannounced. He bought a granola bar. He slid it across a register. He noticed the small basket of snacks full. He noticed the water fountain reinstalled, a new silver mouth on the same old wall. He noticed the sign on the corkboard, messy letters, clear point, people aren't points. Tessa wasn't at that store. He didn't need her to be. The girl at the register, different face, same wrist brace, scanned the bar. She glanced at the basket. You want one? She asked, half kidding. He shook his head. Don't forget to take them yourself, he said. Policy says I must, she shot back, grinning. She didn't know him. She didn't need to. He took his granola bar and stepped outside. His phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. A photo. Tessa's mom, tiny and fierce, flipping the camera, a stern little look under her strawberry blanket. Under it, 6 words, don't make me proud, make me lunch. He typed back, working on it. He slid the phone into his pocket and headed to the next store. At the original location, Tessa stood behind lane 3, a small pack of glucose tablets next to her scanner, a sign in front of her that said in block letters, if I look shaky, I'm eating. She caught a kid's eye and made a face with her tongue out as she handed his mother a receipt. The kid giggled. The mother mouthed thanks. The manager walked by and didn't correct anyone for smiling. She put a box of granola bars in the basket by the register. The cosmetics girl wiped her glitter off with a laugh, then dabbed some on the older woman's cheek for no reason except that it looked good there. The universe didn't clap, it never does, but the store felt different, not perfect, better. Every rule that matters is expensive. He reached for his wallet. He kept reaching. He would be reaching a long time. On the screen of Tessa's phone, a reminder flashed, call Dr. Singh to confirm Friday. She tapped it done. She looked up. She saw the man with the rolled-up sleeves at the end of the lane buying a granola bar he didn't look like he wanted. She didn't wave, not because she was cold, because he wasn't the point. He turned away and let the door sigh behind him. The street moved. The city swallowed him. Inside, the beep of the sensor on her arm was quiet. The basket stayed full. The clock above aisle 7 ticked toward a break that would arrive when it said it would, not when it could. The next customer rolled up with a cart piled with diapers and canned soup. Tessa smiled, hands steady, scanner ready. Hi, she said. Did you find everything you needed?